Hey everyone, today I wanted to do something a little different, but while I was at work today an idea came to me. We were having a few technical difficulties at the terminal. I ended up sitting three and a half hours waiting to get loaded. So I was sitting there in the truck smoking, and I realized that Mother's Day was just right around the corner. It's this Sunday, and I'll probably do another video before then. But I figured I'd go ahead and do this one while it was still fresh on my mind. So, before we get to that though, got my corn cob here. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. It's just one of my workhorse pipes. Take it to work with me or travel with it. You know, it usually goes either in my pocket or in my backpack there. And in it, I got 3 fryers. This is a good tobacco for a day like today. It's 92 degrees, sunny, and got a nice steady breeze blowing. Actually relocated all my stuff out here underneath the shade tree just a little bit ago. But anyway, since Mother's Day is just right around the corner, I want to talk to you about 3 women that have really made a difference in my life. Well, share some memories anyway of these 3 gals. And one of them is, of course, my mother. And one is my grandmother, or Nana, as we all call her. And the third, y'all probably already know, is my wife. She's a real special lady. Anyway, just for simplicity's sake, I'll start with my mother. But probably one of my fondest memories that I have of my mother is, I was in my middle school years, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, somewhere in there. I can't remember the exact year. But during those years, my mom was real big into genealogy, the family history and stuff like that. And we used to go all over, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, these little towns, doing research, going through microfilm, through old newspaper clippings, stuff like that, just trying to find this information on our family members. Today, she's got a whole bookshelf full of those 3-ring binders, just full of family history. I think the farthest she has it traced back on one side of the family. Can't remember if it's a couple hundred years AD or a couple hundred years BC. I don't know. But we got family from England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland. There's a couple from France, some from Germany. I mean, our family came from all over Europe and immigrated over this way, and it just kind of all intermingled there until we get down to today. Anyway, all that aside, there was this one time, I can't remember for the life of me where we were, which town or whatever it was, but it was me, my 2 brothers, and my mother. We'd all gone down to this town trying to find information. It was one of those days, it was the middle of summer, it just rained the day before, it was hot, humid, it was well over 100 degrees. And we're in this little town there, we're going through the cemetery, we're looking and looking and looking for a headstone so my mother could put the information in the book. That way we'd have the coordinates to where this relative was buried. I want to say it was a Civil War cemetery. It might have been in Arkansas. don't hold me to that. I can't really remember. I was, fairly young then. But anyway, we're going through the cemetery and we're looking. We go to the reference desk. We're trying to find them and can't find anything. They don't know anything, but the lady my mom's on the phone with swears up and down that's the cemetery they're buried in. We go through this thing 2 or 3 different times, and we're just all miserable. We're all dragging. It's hot. We're thirsty. Just it ain't very good at all. Anyway, after going through this thing a couple of times, my mother finally calls this lady back, and who had been going through her books, and found out that we were actually at the wrong cemetery. So we ended up packing up and headed over to the right one. And same thing, out there looking for a couple hours, and we finally find the guy. My mom gets the name, a rubbing of the headstone to put in the records, gets the coordinates, exactly where the headstone is, puts all that information down, and we go to leave, and we end up getting stuck in a mud puddle. And we're out there for a couple hours. Can't go anywhere. Us kids, we can't really do anything to help. And my mom, she's trying to get a hold of my stepdad. And he was at work, and like I said, we were either southern Oklahoma, over in Arkansas somewhere. I can't remember exactly where, but he wouldn't have been able to get to us for a couple hours. Finally, a guy that lived nearby saw that we were stuck, and he went and got his truck and chain and pulled us out. Anyway, it was so miserable. We were all dying of thirst, and we decided to drive through McDonald's, and we were all going to get a Happy Meal or whatever, and our drinks and stuff like that, and then head back to the house. My mom didn't realize that she had left her little pocketbook thing at the house, and all she had in the bottom of her purse was like $1.50, something like that, and change. But anyway, we got one sweet tea, and we all, shared that sweet tea, on the way home. But I don't know, just something about that day. That was the greatest sweet tea I'd ever had. Just a cheap McDonald's sweet tea. And I don't know why. I'm so fond of that memory. Like I said, it was a pretty miserable day, but it was one of my favorite memories. Every time, we're all together, me, my brothers, and my mom, we always talk about, that day, or that day always ends up coming up. It's, everybody's, or one of everybody's favorites. Now, Nana, every year, well, the whole time I was growing up, every year we'd go down to Galveston. And down there in Galveston, there's Galveston Island State Park, and that's where we'd always park the camper. And Nana, every time that we could, she'd always insist that we get as close as we could to the dunes, as right across the dunes, was the beach. So we'd always try and get as close as we could. And Nana, whenever she goes on vacation, she likes to chill out, relax, read her book, and just enjoy the scenery. So most of the day she would sit under the canopy or whatever, reading her book, and there'd always be 2 things that we'd always go and do. We'd always go down to the Strand and go through the shops, and in the evening, as it started to cool down and the sun was starting to go down and everything, we'd walk along the beach and collect seashells. And Nana was the one always leading the way. We'd get down there on the Strand. She was the conductor, I guess, like, we're going here, 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 here. And every time at the end, there was this old-fashioned malt shop. I don't know if it's still there or not. It's been about 9-10 years since I've been to Galveston. Well, we'd always stop in there at that malt shop and get a chocolate malt or strawberry malt or whatever. It was one of those really cool old malt shops too. The guy looked like, behind the counter, looked like he belonged in a barbershop quartet. And in the evening, like I said, we'd go up and down the shore looking for seashells. We'd find pieces of sand dollars, different shells. We'd carry our buckets along and we'd gather them up, run over to Nana and be like, hey, look what we found. She'd be like, oh, that one still has a crab in it, put that one in the bag, let's go over here and find another one. That was always fun. That's one of my favorite memories of Nana. And the third is my wife. Now, me and my wife have been married since 2013, but we've known each other our whole lives, literally since we were little kids. Fun fact, her mom actually used to babysit me whenever I was kindergarten age. So, we've known each other for a long time. Got a little bit of ash build up there. It's not wanting to burn. This one here, folks. Get situated. Got some robins over there. Anyway, my wife, she's an amazing woman. I think I've mentioned before that I was a truck driver, or am a truck driver. I used to be over the road running the lower 48, sometimes doing regional work, but I was always gone all the time. Especially right there after my first son was born, she was at home a lot with the kid by herself. I got bugs getting at me, I'm sure. I think I might need to reload. Hold up. I'm gonna take a quick break. Hold on. I gotta reload this thing. We'll continue. Try to make this as fast as possible. I've already dried this out pretty good. Usually whenever I get it in a bag like this, I like to open the bag up and let it dry out for an hour, hour and a half before I put it in my bag to take to work with me. Oh, it's all good and ready to go whenever I'm at work. Get situated here. And of course the neighbor fires up the lawnmower. They've been working on that lawn for 3 days. Sounds like they're moving around the other side now. There we go. Alright, where was I? We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. Bear with me. There we go. Alright. Oh, my canine friends are out. Anyway. After our first son was born, like I said, I was gone all the time. And she decided she was going to be a stay-at-home mom. And it took us a real long time to have our second kid. She has polycystic ovarian syndrome. And we had several miscarriages in between the first and the second one. But we had our second son, and he's 2 years old now. And our third son, he just turned 9 months not too long ago. And of course my oldest boy, his birthday was just the other day. But anyway, it never ceases to amaze me how good of a mother my wife is. You know, ever since the first one, you know, she has gone above and beyond, you know, anything I would ever imagine, you know, a parent could or would do. Just, I don't know, watching her is just wonderful. You know, just how much she cares for the kids, especially, you know, with me being gone all that time. You know, she's, you know, really strong to stick in there and, you know, keep things, you know, functioning and running well on the home front while I was out on the road. And it was actually through watching my wife that I really grew to appreciate all the things that my mom and Nana did for me while I was growing up. You know, I don't think I would have understood, you know, quite as well as what I do now if it weren't for my wife. But there isn't anything that she won't do for the kids. I am stunned and amazed and just in awe of the selflessness and just how much, you know, she cares. And, you know, I just really can't explain it. I'm just in awe of it all. But like I said, if it weren't for my wife, I don't think I'd, you know, have the appreciation that I do now. But anyway, just kind of wanted to share some thoughts since, you know, Mother's Day is coming up, and if my wife does actually watch this video later, she might not, I don't know. But if she does, I love you. You know, you're awesome. You're the greatest, you know, woman in the world. And happy Mother's Day. But I wanted to ask a question. Y'all can leave a comment, or, you know, if you want to, or if not, you know, that's fine. You know, just reflect on it. But I was kind of wondering, you know, what your fondest memories of your mother or a grandmother, or, you know, it can be any mother in your life. You know, if you want to share a memory or, you know, a story or anything like that from childhood, I'd be, you know, interested in hearing it. You know, today it's kind of got me in the Mother's Day mood. I know Nana and my mom both want plants for the vegetable garden. So I think we're going to go down there and get them some stuff to go in there. Maybe some tomatoes and some peppers and some okra. You know, things like that. They kind of get on to us whenever we bring them flowers. They're like, oh, they're just going to die later. So, get something that we'll get some use out of all summer all the way up into the fall. Anyway, and for my wife, I got something special planned. You know, we've been working on this, you know, for a while, trying to get the scheduling down and where I can go and we can get away and enjoy ourselves. But since she works so hard, you know, she deserves a weekend away, and so we figured we'd get a cabin out on the lake this weekend. You know, we'll be there Friday night and Saturday night. We'll be back home Sunday and have Mother's Day with the boys. You know, everything's going to be focused on Mom. She'll have her couple nights at the cabin. And everything will be taken care of Sunday for her whenever she gets home, to show our appreciation. And she's also been wanting a new chef's knife kit. I haven't got that yet, but I'll have to hurry up and get that. I gotta find one. She showed me one she really, really wanted. So I'll have to get that ordered and That way it's on its way. That way I can be like, oh no, see, it's on its way. It'll be here Monday. Anyway, that's what I plan on doing for her. And Dan and my mom, like I said, they wanted the vegetables this year. So, before I go, got a couple of things today. Swung in at the tobacco shop. Something I look forward to, every week. It's kind of like my little getaway, with work and all that. So I got a few things here. The first one, is Dunhill nightcap. Got a tin of that for the cellar, and just got one tin. So I got that. Number 2 is Dunhill early morning pipe, also for the cellar. But he's got more tins of this and the other at the store, so maybe next week I'll pick some more up. And thirdly, we have this. I've been looking at it for a while. Been wanting to try it, been reading the reviews on it, and seems right up my alley, but that is Warhorse Bar. And they don't really have too much of a tin description on here. It says made of dark-fired Kentucky and dark air-cured and mature red Virginia. And I know it's kind of like a plug or a crumble cake, style tobacco. So I'm really anxious to try that. I've had crumble cakes before, but I haven't quite had a plug yet. So hopefully that's, pluggy enough, I guess. Been wanting to try that jackknife plug too, still ain't got around to that. Did finally get some of that brown bogey though, and I tell you what, that is some good tobacco now. It's nice for a change. I like that one in the evening time. I've been alternating back and forth between that, trying to finish off that old dark fired and working on that brown bogey. Those are both really good tobaccos. Oh, and had to get me an extra check tool. I ain't even taken it out of the package yet. It's still in there. Picked that up because I have a bad habit of misplacing tampers, I found out. I can set it down, forget where I put it, and not find it for a couple of days, and I'm doing like I did yesterday, just breaking a stick off the tree here and using that to tamp it down. And one more thing. I saw this. Ah, there's the wife. She's staring me down. I think she thinks I'm up to something. Oh, she says it's time for catfish. Yeah. I'll be there in a minute. Catfish. Yeah. Alright, I'll finish this up real quick. Got this today too. The General. Now, I saw this, and this was kind of an impulse buy. I saw it, I liked it, couldn't go home without it. But look at the size of that bowl in there. I mean, it's got my finger. It goes all the way down in there. Look at that. But, yeah, this is a really nice looking pipe. And I think it's got a filter in it. Let me look. Oh, yeah, it's got a filter. We don't need that, so take that out. But I am ready to give this bad boy a try. Like I said, I don't know, something about it. Looks like it'd be nice. It seems a little too heavy to clench, Oh yeah, it's, got a little bit of weight to it. It's heavier than most of my briar pipes, but it's got a nice thick wall there. That'll burn nice and cool. It's got a huge bowl on it. Maybe that'll be what I smoke tomorrow evening or something. Come out here underneath the shade tree and just enjoy the evening. That. So. Anyway, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I know the video ran 25 minutes or so, so if you stuck through to the end, thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Got that catfish waiting on me, and I am about ready to get to it. So y'all enjoy the rest of the week, and hopefully we'll see you this weekend. But if not, y'all have a great weekend too. We'll talk at you later.